Last time on Desperate Attune, we saw the crew enjoying the fruits of their labor after a successful duel in the Colosseum. Thanks to their rising reputation, new students had started to come in, paying in favors and odds and ends. They'd even set up running water by siphoning off the hydrant system with the water bearer's blessing. Saida's plans to bring forth the Prince of Endings were underway. Moss was the first to learn of this when Saida called her in to discuss their dealings with the supernatural. Moss revealed that she'd been having dreams of the House of Lies, much to Saida's pleasure. The Prince of Endings would begin, Saida said, and the rest of the crew should not interfere. She then spoke the prince's true first name so that Moss may know it. Upon hearing the word, Moss realized that the dreams were from the future, of a life he hadn't lived. And upon speaking the words, Saida learned that she would not live to see the future she was bringing about. Kethrysi too was moving up in the world. He had hired some help for his mother's boarding house and had joined Ankhattam in Kethrysi politics. In his own words, he was even sexier than before. Putting this to good use, he had taken Mumtaz for a hot date around town. Starting at the jetties, they made their way up the high locks, around the fortress, and to a stunning view out of the city. Rounding off the evening, they stole one, and only one, of Jackal's fancy cowboy boots. To shake off their angry Scottish pursuers, they ducked into an abandoned basement. A basement empty, except for one ancestor tree that Mumtaz was not supposed to see.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flame, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Endings. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks, and that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama. So let's flash back to that then, where Moss tells people about the tree. And I suppose this can be the whole crew, for simplicity. Right? Because I don't think Moss is keeping the secret from anyone.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Alright, so let's flash back to this scene, which is probably then in your lair, I guess, which is where, I mean, it's the best place to discuss secrets, after all.
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How would you broach this?
Yeah, I think, is it something that Moss broaches, or is it something that comes up? I wonder. Actually, I have an idea for how it could be broached, now that I mention it. Your mother has been keeping these little bonsai trees in the boarding house. Maybe, now that the lair's been cleared up, you're moving one of the bonsai trees to the lair. And, this is what brings on the topic.
Right. And are these bonsai trees, remind me, are they spirit trees as well? Or are they or ghost trees?
I think they have been grafted with twigs from ancestor trees.
Right.
I think we established that they kind of are, but they don't have any ghosts in them, so they don't actually have any power, unlike the real deal.
Yeah, it literally is a tiny bit of twig that has been grafted onto other trees. I think that's the most that most Kethrysi households actually have.
Yeah. I think she's, we've moved one of these trees here, and she's gonna be, I think we are in the room, and, we are not here, gathered because Moss called people together. We're just here because we are here. And we are working on the tree. Maybe Moss is working on the tree. Maybe, I think Kethrysi also had, at least some attunement to it, right? with his other sister.
Mm-hmm. Our other sister.
Yes, with our other sister.
Yes. Yeah, I was
And
like
I
I was helping her take care of, like, I was doing bonsai maintenance with her.
I think we're doing something like that again. And moss is pensive, and eventually she like shakes her head and says, I think we can do better than potted, maybe.
Hydroponics?
Something like that.
I don't know what the word means, actually.
I think,
Something
as you
with
say,
water,
I don't know
right?
what the word. Yeah, no, go on. Sorry.
Something with water, right?
Yeah, you grow plants just in water, like no soil.
I know what it means. Vidrohi just knows the word.
Yeah. I think this is an intern
Saida
thing.
is gonna say, "Is there a reason?" No, no, that's not how Saida talks. Well, okay. Saida just looks at you and says, "Hydroponics in Uduasha, where we are surrounded by a desert. This is your incredible idea, sir."
Sounds like a great reason to do hydroponics.
There are reservoirs of water.
Yes, excellent. So are we doing hydroponics? Do I need to find out what it is?
I think it might be worth doing, because I found something the other day.
You found the hydroponics?
I found a reservoir of water that had a tree growing in it. And it's not an Uduashan tree.
Okay.
Oh, hang on, where is this conversation taking place? Because Said is here too.
Yeah, everyone's here.
All of us
This
are
is taking place in the lair. We're in a flashback now where Moss is
Yeah.
bringing this
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, we have taken the grafted bonsai tree thing to the lair.
Yes.
But it's not good enough for us.
Mm.
Okay. I think Vidrohi can tell that his sister is trying to reveal something, and he's waiting for the big reveal.
We've been thinking that the Uduashans can't grow Kethrysi trees, that the Akrosi can't grow Kethrysi trees, that those trees from the mangrove can't grow anything anywhere else. It only works there and under specific circumstances. And otherwise you need what's it called? Luminescent the things that the Akrosi make.
The
Right?
radiant energy.
Radiant energy trees. But I found a tree. It's not doing very well, but it's in a basement construction site.
Wait.
Long story.
You found one of the ancestral trees in a Uduasha basement.
I was going. Yes, that was what I was leading towards. I
Okay,
don't
sorry,
think that's a radiant energy tree. I thought at first, but no.
Okay, I'm sorry that I ruined your narrative arc. I am very sorry, but like what?
And I think Mushfik as well, who usually doesn't take an interest in these things, all like kind of perks up and is kind of disturbed, like, but like they and says like, but that doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, for once, you need to fertilize the soil for thousands of years with the bodies of our ancestors to even make such a thing possible.
Okay, that is really fucked up. But
it is our tradition. Don't mock it.
Okay. I see. Okay. Our tradition is to have ancestors who are in tree and thousands of generations of ancestors in the tree. Okay, very good. But we are in. Okay, let's assume that that's cool and that's great. Okay, I am proud to be Kethrysi. Excellent. Okay, what? Why is it here?
I think somebody put it there. I can't think of any other way.
Does this mean someone has been killing thousands of Kethrysi in a basement?
I think there is. I think someone killed one person in a basement.
But does the tree look alive? Like, I mean,
It's growing and it's glowing like they did in the mangroves.
and like, yeah, I think Mushrik is like now pretty disturbed because like I think someone has been killing thousands of Kethrysi in a basement. Like this shouldn't be like such a thing shouldn't be growing here.
The trees do
I-
not need Kethrysi bodies. They can use any bodies, which you would know if you paid any attention. And Utuwasha is a strange and, in the words of Bidrohi, fucked up place where such things are indeed possible. I would like to see this tree.
I would like to
And we
see
must
this
all
tree.
go there. Make
Sister,
yourself free. Hmm?
Is this what you want, sister? Do you want us all to see this tree?
Yes, that's why I'm telling you.
Okay.
Because I don't know what to do.
Let's go see the tree.
Yeah,
should-
so I
we
suppose we're
can-
still in the flashback.
I think I don't know if we can. Maybe there is a reason why we can't in the flashback.
Yeah, I think it's it was in a construction site, right? So I think what happens is you plan to go to see it, but there is some activity happening. I think this is one of those construction sites that's abandoned due to Begum Bashundara reasons.
Mm-hmm.
This makes
so
sense.
there isn't actually very much work going on, but at the time being, right, there is some activity around the area, and you
Which
can't go
district
visit
was it in?
I think it was in Bundervest, wasn't it?
It was
Yes,
in Bunderwest, yeah.
Well, I mean, Begum Bosundar, I mean, maybe she's branching out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know,
I'm not saying it's necessarily her. I'm saying there's a bunch of incompetent landlords around Uduasha who don't finish projects, right? Like,
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you're right. I think it's more dramatic actually to cut back to this is the first time that Bidruhi actually sees the tree when he stumbles in by accident. And
Because it
maybe
gave me the heebie-jeebies when I heard about it.
yes, and maybe Moss has brought someone else here in this moment. So anyone in the crew can be here. I think how we'll frame it is Moss decided that like now is a good time to show my friends the tree. Oh, Bidruhi isn't here because he snuck off with his girlfriend. I see.
Okay.
Well,
Just to make it even worse for me, I think one thing I would have suggested to Moss as we broke away was like, okay, this is a little heavy for me. I'm not sure if I really want to see this tree. I mean, I've never seen one in my life, and it sounds, well, as we have been saying, very fucked up. But maybe Mother would like to see it?
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if Moss wants Mushfik's help in investigating this tree. I think Mushfik has a fairly, intuitive understanding of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll be there as well. I'm also intrigued
I
by
think
this
Saida's
soul tree.
Yeah. And Saida wants to be here because it's a soul tree. She wants to see it.
Yeah. So let me reframe this scene. Let's start the scene with Moss, Mushfik, Saida, and Moonlit.
Yeah.
Like entering the basement, and then Bidruhi and his girlfriend are just gonna stumble in at some point.
Oh yes.
Is Usra here too? I mean, I assume she would be. But
I think actually, I don't think. Okay, yeah, maybe she is. I was thinking Moonlit might think she's like too young to bring randomly for the first time.
Well, you guys can decide then. You're the GM.
I think that she is too young, but it seems to me like Moonlit might bring her anyway.
Yeah, I can see an argument either way.
Yeah. Okay, let's. Actually, no. I think Moonlit. We have seen that she's a very no-nonsense person. I think she wouldn't bring a child the first time around because this is actually really like a big secret, and you don't trust 8-year-olds with big secrets. That's just not.
Fair.
This is true.
Smart.
You don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like she would probably have told her that like yes there is a tree, but she wouldn't tell her where it is just in the off chance that she does something stupid and tell someone.
Okay, so Butler's looking after her.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what's happening.
So
Butler
we cut to the scene of Moss leading them into this flooded basement, and there is indeed a mangrove tree, and it occupies a corner of the room. And I think it looks extremely weird because it's a mangrove and it's grown inside, like half inside a wall and half inside the water. So there is the branches spread out all over the ceiling, and there are these mangrove roots that stick up in the water all around. And of course, it glows an eerie blue light, which is reflected in the black waters underneath it, and it illuminates the room. It's a sickly looking thing, right? It's a tree that's not doing very well, visibly, but it is alive and glowing.
What does it feel like in the ghost field?
Yeah, it feels like, well, ghosts. These trees preserve ghosts, which otherwise cannot exist in Uduasha, but they can inside the mangroves thanks to this symbiosis. And ghosts is not
so
a
it does
feeling
feel
that you...
like
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
and
does it feel like something? If I've grown up around these trees, they've meant a lot to me. I've been used to them. Does it
Yeah.
feel familiar in that way?
Oh yeah, it feels like the presence. The presence of the ancestors. It does.
I would also like to study this tree. And any fruits growing off this?
No, I don't think so. I think it's again, it's an unwell tree. It's barely clinging to life. It's in no position to like fruit or grow or split off. Maybe it
Well,
could if
it
it
would
were
be really
properly tended and cared for, but
well, either way, I'm gonna take a bite out of something to see if it tastes like the ancestor fruits that
Make
Mushrik
your
eats.
fucking hot.
Someone stop him.
well, we have established
think
that
if Mushrik-
ancestral bananas are a thing. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I want to see if
Yeah,
it tastes the
I mean-
same.
if Mushfik's going for something like this, I would like to grab him and say, and what do you think you're doing?
Going to see if this tastes the same as the ancestor bananas that I have brought in from Kethrysi.
It will not. How will it taste the same, Mushfik?
Well, if
Have
it's
you
the
seen
same. Well, I mean, it'll let me know if something's wrong with it.
There is obviously. Sorry, what?
because you're a banana
Maybe-
diagnostician now. That's a thing you are.
I think
okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab his ear and I'm going to drag him by the ear to like maybe like a branch that's a bit further away from the main core of the tree, and I'm going to take a stress to assist you basically because it just feels like a roll, whatever it is you're doing to eat a tree. And I'm going to like point to a part of the tree that I feel like if he eats it, he will not get spirit poisoning and die.
Well, let's say that these mangroves do grow some strange fruit, right? Except this is, again, it's a shriveled and sick tree, but they're probably like buds of fruit or flowers that are technically edible. Yeah.
The way that I'm imagining it basically is that it's like fucked up and trying to fruit and failing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you roll for eating a fruit of a sickly soul tree?
Yeah, I think you're attuning.
Maybe it's just a resistance roll.
No, I think it's an attune. I think you're trying to get information from the tree, and I think it's a totally legitimate way. I think to like taste the tree. It's a weird form of like second step cannibalism, but
listen, Mushrik knows the taste of like he'll know exactly what kind of souls have gone into this tree.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we'll find out. So it's an attune roll, and I think there is some risk involved, but it's controlled. I also think you will only get limited information because the tree isn't actually bearing fruit, right? So it's just like a small shriveled bud. So by default, it's controlled limited. You can trade this up if you're willing to risk poisoning yourself, basically, and eating parts of the tree you're not supposed to eat, I guess.
Yes.
Maybe some of the bark.
Yes, I'm willing to do this.
Okay.
I have taken one stress to help Mushfik eat this tree. And when everything goes wrong, I am not going to roll to protect him because I'm 2 stress away now from trauma, but also he deserves it for eating bad fruit.
Well, fortunately for you, there are fish in the water around here. They're probably part of the symbiosis too.
Oh, great.
So,
okay.
I have some stress to burn, so you know what? Remind me, how many can I trade position for effect more than once?
No. So
you
risky
can.
standard this. Oh, you can.
No.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. I mean, like fictionally, you could just do it. Yeah. Like if you're willing to like just put yourself in a really desperate position in order to get great effect, you can. It's just that's a stupid thing to do.
Sure.
But
I will let you trade this up. I will let you trade this up to desperate great then if you want. And I think the way to make it desperate great, if you want to make it desperate great, I have only one.
It's
Okay,
alright, because I think it's too early in the day to die from eating a tree.
To reading a poisoned banana bark. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Okay. So the bad news is that you took it up to risky, right? So you have poisoned yourself unless you resist this. This is not exactly like a healthy thing to do.
No, yeah.
You are going to resist it?
Yeah.
Okay, if you resist it,
tough it out, I guess.
I think it will be resisted fully. And yeah, fair enough. We know that Mushfik is very good at eating, so.
Yeah, but I think you see him take a bite out of it, and okay, never mind. I just immediately throw up, but he's like,
Yeah.
Not ripe yet.
Yeah, obviously not ripe yet. But...
yeah, this is great. I'm just gonna look at you and say, how are you alive? Oh my! Come here.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and get some water into him.
So I am going to give you information though, as you taste this tree. And actually, now that I think about it, here's what the information you're going to get it, which is oddly ironic considering the circumstances. These things normally cannot grow unless you have this whole intricate cremating and burying people in the ground, because it's a whole matter of transferring a soul to a tree, right? It's complicated. The way this can happen organically and spontaneously, which you have a feeling has happened now, is if someone eats a part of a living tree and it takes root inside them while they are still alive.
Oh my god. Yes.
And this is probably how this tree came about. It started growing before the person in the water was entirely dead.
You know, when we were growing up, well, I don't know if Aadiyat was told this, but my parents always told me, if you eat the seed of the fruit, then the tree will start growing inside your body.
Of course,
yes. Yeah, and in this case, it is actually true because the seeds contain ghosts. So, so someone has eaten the seed of an ancestor tree, wittingly or not, and carried it inside them, and then died in this basement. And this is how their soul got transferred into the tree. And we know this tree contains only a single ghost. I think Moss established that when she communed with it.
Yes.
So for now, it contains only a single ghost. Once you have the tree, I think it's quite easy to bury people in its roots and transfer more ghosts to it. That's a thing that can be done. But yeah, it is the ghost of a person who died while bearing the seed.
Please let us not turn it into a project where we start getting this tree to grow bigger and stronger by feeding ghosts to it. I say this because I know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, please let us do exactly that. Thank you.
Well, there is a whole Kethrysi community here to whom this is the way to be buried, right? To whom this is comfort after
If
comfort.
you tell Ankhattam this, he will make a hilarious amount of money promising to people that they can be sacred buried when they die. Just give him Fokon.
Yeah. I mean, you joke about this, but funerals are serious money business.
I'm not joking. I think this is 100% serious.
New crew concept unlocked.
Funerist. Yeah. Considering Blades in the Dark, being actually like a funeral director actually sounds like a really dangerous job. So.
Yeah, it probably is.
Anyway, Mushfik, you have learned this about it, and you have learned that there's possibly now the risk of this happening to you. I think the reason the Kethrysi don't normally do this to propagate the trees is that, it isn't exactly healthy.
It isn't exactly
if
healthy,
the tree takes root inside you, you die a lot faster than you otherwise would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing I Mushfik threw that up then.
Yeah, indeed. So it's probably one of those where you go luckily for me, I didn't eat the seed. I was smart.
Yeah, that's very smart. Very, very smart.
I guess we've learned now that Mushfik also told you the story when you were little, that if you eat the seed, it's bad for you. So you avoided it. Thanks, Mom.
That's the resistance, right? We're just flashing back.
Yes.
Remembering.
Yes.
Big Cormac vibes.
All right. So that's the situation. And we also learned that the ghost inside it is quite confused. Just to reiterate what Moss learned, the ghost is somewhat confused and doesn't necessarily know precisely what has happened to it.
I think I think this may be a good time for Bidrohi and his girlfriend to randomly turn
I was about to say. So Saida is like tending to Mushfik, going like, "Oh my god, are you alright?" And Mushfik is like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I didn't need the seed, don't worry." And it is at this moment, I guess, as Moss is looking over the tree, that Bidrohi comes in through, ducks in through a side corridor, and you hear splashing in the water, and the light of the tree falls on Bidrohi's face, and then on the stunningly beautiful face of the woman beside him. Because obviously she brushed up on her makeup while they were running.
Yes.
Bidrohi,
why did you bring
what?
You...
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I'm yelling and Bidrohi's yelling, but I suspect Moonlit may make both of us shut up now.
Yeah, Moonlit turns, and it's not even that she doesn't even yell. She just looks at you, Bidrohi, and there's a moment of softness in her eyes as she's glad you've come so that you can see this. Yeah. And a lot of emotions rush across her face at once, right? Like, I can finally introduce my son to this super important part of our heritage that he has been completely cut off from. And there is supreme joy, and then fear. This is like what it cycles through. And then that fear very quickly ferments into anger. And she steps forwards, and she says,
"Oh, hello."
And yeah, she's speaking to you in like I forget if Kethrysi had a language or a dialect, but she's definitely code switching.
Okay.
And and she says, "This is sacred water."
I'm sorry, mother. And I think like when he code switches, his weird accent stops as well. I probably will not remember this for the next time, but whatever.
I will remember. Don't worry about it.
Yes, of course you will remember. A reason for Zoheb to stop talking like this. Excellent.
Anyway, she says this is sacred water, and I think this is what the Kethrysi say instead of sacred ground, because mangroves.
I'm sorry, mother. Is this what I should do? And then he kind of like quickly ducks down, takes his boots off, and stands in bare feet in the water.
Yeah, I think this is in fact what you should be doing. Yes, but she
because she looks her bare over. Feet.
I'm gonna interject and say that no, this is not what you should be doing in a mangrove. Do not take your shoes off.
Okay, fair enough.
There are leeches and whatnot, like
crabs.
Don't do that.
Yeah, true.
But okay, I take my shoes off because that's what you do in a temple, I guess.
No, that's not what you. And I think Saida's gonna interrupt because she can see this about to explode. And it's a bad, there are more important things about to happen, right? And I think they will first look at Bidrohi and say, don't take your shoes off. There are fish in here, and I don't know what kind yet. Moonlit, you are not going to yell at your son here. If you want to do such a thing, you can take him home. You can do it there.
Saida, I think you can roll here. If you are attempting to calm Moonlit down, that is definitely a roll, and you are putting yourself at great risk. I will point out that there is room to indulge vice in here because of Moss's functional vice. But
I think I'm going to indulge vice after this conversation. I think.
Yeah. Now is not the time.
But for now, this seems like a sway. Could be a command though.
I think sway or command either is fine. They will have.
Then I will do sway because I've got more dice in it. What's my position and effect?
It is risky standard, and the risk is to Bidrohi. Like, Moonlit is not pissed off at you. I hope this is fair, Klow, but I think it's the only way to make it make sense.
Great, fantastic. Yes, please assist.
I'm a big fan of assisting.
Yes.
How are you assisting? Are you like pleading with your mother or something?
Okay, I think there's a reason Bidrohi is like this. which is that his mother lets him get away with most things.
Mm.
And I don't think he's like intentionally manipulative, but like when he's like genuinely puts his foot wrong and he doesn't know that he does it, he like looks at her with this like not like puppy dog face, but like a certain look in his eyes that does make her soften up usually.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Aid with your puppy dog eyes. Very
and
well.
the reason I have stress is because I am stressed.
Yeah.
Yes, this makes sense. Okay, so Sway Risky Standard with 1 bonus die. I'm not pushing myself. I'm not interested in any bargains. Just gonna do this. That's 2 sixes.
Double
That's 2
sixes.
sixes. Where were those sixes when I rolled an incredible number of dice to bring the Prince of Might?
Clearly, this is more
Yeah.
important.
So, what is going to happen here is, as your crit bonus, I think that we learn a thing about Moonlit, which is that, she respects and reveres these trees. They are part of your culture, they are part of your religion, they are tremendously important. But you are an elder and a spiritual leader. And so your crit bonus here is that she's just going to accept that whatever Saida says about the trees and the ancestor goes. Like, Moonlit is normally a very authoritative woman, and she can talk you down on a lot of other fields, but she's not going to talk you down on matters of religion. And this role basically establishes that, right? So if you say there's no shouting in here, then fine, there is no shouting in here. That,
we have shouting at home.
That is the law. Yeah,
exactly.
So there is a moment where she raises her hand, and there is a moment where it looks like she might actually like do something, grab Bidruhi, do something drastic, strike him, but she doesn't. She freezes, and she looks to Saida, and she's still staying in the Kethrysi dialect. I think she will say, she will hiss a word at you, and it is one of those words that is difficult to translate, right?
Yeah.
But it is the kind of word that you use to demeaningly say outsider. And that she is legitimately deeply insulted by the presence of someone who does not understand.
Which I think is very fair. And so I think what Saida will do is I'm going to look at Bidrohi and Mushfiq, and I'm going to give them a socially acceptable reason to stand outside or leave, because I don't know that they're running away from somebody, right? Or rather, I kind of see that they're...
You mean Mumtaz?
Bidrohi and Mumtaz.
Yeah. No, but I'm going to try and include Mushfiq in this so that it doesn't feel like I'm just sending him off, right?
Okay.
And so I will say to Bidrohi, look, Mushfiq is not feeling well. He did something stupid, like he always does. He ate something he should not have eaten.
I feel fine.
And shut up. You and Mumtaz, you please take him, get him some air, okay? Wash his face, and then you can come back in some 10-15 minutes when he is feeling better, okay? And my plan here, if only these two will go along with it, is now Mumtaz can leave without anybody feeling like they're being kicked out.
Yeah. So either Bidrohi or Saida will have to make an action here, because it was established as a consequence, unless Bidrohi resists it, that Mumtaz is genuinely curious about all this.
Yes.
She doesn't know what the fuck is going on, but she has that instinct, right? So, Bidrohi.
I mean,
Shankarabharanam, do you have an upset tummy?
Yes, I'm going to throw up again.
Can you throw up on command? That's pretty good.
This is my role to get everyone out of here.
Okay.
Okay. If me coming into this water is like, insulting to the sacred water, then I am assuming that Shankarabharanam throwing up into the water is also very, very bad. So, exit for us, stage right. Okay, I will. Shankarabharanam, come.
Okay, Shankarabharanam, make a roll to throw up on command. I think finesse is the closest action that fits here. It's like fine control of your body. So
I'm framing this more as an actual, like, not that he's intentionally doing this, as some kind of like,
I think you should assist me as we run away.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Like that's an involuntary action.
Okay, you were assisting Bidrohi's action. Fair enough. And Bidrohi, you were just trying to extract yourself without further incident.
Okay.
It's just way, right?
Mumtaz, please. Okay. this is we can talk about this later. This is very important for my family, and there's some stuff going on. I don't really understand it either. There's this tree. We'll talk about all of this later. But okay, this is Shankarabharanam. He is the greatest man, and he would be the love of my life if I were interested in men. But I am not. I am interested in you. Please help me save his life.
Controlled standard.
Great. Great.
She understands that Shankarabharanam is important.
Yes. The controlled reason is actually because Saida rolled a crit.
Yes.
But
Great.
you know.
Love
Also,
to roll well on this kind of roll. Yeah.
Also, I'm sure
absolutely.
Mumtaz understands where she's not welcome.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
She clearly understands that something is going on here, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm getting control standard. I'm getting a bonus dice from Shankarabharanam.
6.
Okay, and you roll a 6.
Yes.
So, she will remain curious. All that has not been taken away, but she understands that, like, she understands that this whole taking care of Shankarabharanam is bullshit. But she also understands that it's time to play along. This is where you don't go off script, right?
Yeah. This is the kind of thing where everybody knows that it's bullshit, but it's very important that everybody pretend it's not bullshit.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
it's bullshit. Shankarabharanam is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
great. Everybody apart from you then.
Yes. So she just goes like, the great warrior laid low by some fruit. Come, let's take care of you. And yeah. And she walks you out and goes, looks at Bidrohi and goes, I think it's good you didn't take your shoes off. There's leeches.
Mm-hmm. I was going
Yeah,
to say
and
something,
I think-
but I've decided not to.
Yeah. I think it's in this moment also that we notice that Moss, you have a special bond with this tree, and I think that extends to the ecosystem. So in fact, Moss, you
Right.
can take your shoes off in here and you will be fine. Weirdly.
Nice.
But you probably come to realize this as other people who are not as attuned to the tree come in, right? You see like the fish stir about and like the ecosystem get thrown out of whack, and then you're just like standing there and the fish like eat dirt off your boots and aren't the slightest bit worried. Yeah.
You're getting a goddamn fish massage.
Yep.
Well, through my boots, so I'm sure I'm not feeling much of it.
Yes. Anyway, this leaves Saida and Moonlit and Moss in the room, and Moonlit is visibly shaking because again she went through a lot of emotions in a very quick process.
Moss is fiddling with like a bracelet on her arm and looking at it and says, "So I brought some things. There's some fertilizer that I think is working well for it. Those branches over there, we need to keep pruning them because they keep breaking themselves against the corner, against the gravel or against the cement. And I think when I got here, they were very sick.
Yeah,
So
I think
if you guys want to help, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I think Moonlit will turn around and she will bring her shaking hands to your temples and cheeks and just hold your face and look at it. And she says, You do not know how much you have done for me, child. And then she leans forwards and places her forehead against yours, and there is like a long breath during which some of this stress and tension leaves her, and she basically steadies herself against you.
Oh, I guess I don't, but I'm glad for it.
You're right.
Saida is
she's
awkwardly,
right.
not awkwardly.
Yeah.
But, go on.
She says, "You're right. She's right, isn't she?" And she looks to Saida to see if, like, has Moss got the right of it? Is this what we need to do?
And I think I'll say, I think Moss knows better than anyone what we need to do.
Yeah.
I think I have never seen this, but perhaps Moss can see further than me.
I'm sure that's not true. I've just seen it. I've just seen it a few times. I know I've seen some things I think work, but I'm glad that you are both here and have your eyes on it.
Yeah. Moonlit will reach into the pocket of her apron and take out the tools she uses to prune the trees, which she brought because she knew there, she probably didn't believe it until she saw it, but she knew there might be the possibility. And so she will very ceremoniously and with great gravitas hand out these tools. And then she will turn to Moss again and she will follow your instructions and do as you say. And it's a very touching moment, right? Because she taught you to prune the bonsai trees. This is something that she did with you probably even before you were exiled, right? Before you left the household. And now you are teaching her. So it's a very...
Yeah. I think Saida's actually not going to take the tools because Saida is going to sit on a little branch and she's going to sing instead. And she probably sings something that is normally sung at maybe funerals or I'm sure there's also times when you just gather around the tree that your ancestors have been buried at, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, basically every culture has some kind of Day of the Dead type thing, right?
Yes. So. Yeah. So she will sing something that that reminds Moonlit of that ritual, because Moss was not alive when that kind of thing happened. And I'm actually probably, while I think the music might be similar to the kind of Indian classical music that I'm thinking of, I actually think that the kind of wording I'm thinking of is the Harry Martinson poem you sent me about going somewhere that you cannot come back from, and about being transformed completely by this journey and not knowing and not having any idea, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So yeah, I think that you are both in a position to indulge your vice here because of Moss's ability, she can invite others to join in the vice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you can both roll indulge vice. I think it's a suitable moment for you to de-stress.
Yes, I rolled a 6. And I can add 1, right? Because of her ability.
Yeah. You can add up to 2.
Great. So I completely clear my stress.
Same.
Yep.
Lovely.
Wonderful. Yeah. So it is, in fact, a very, very touching spiritual moment. This song, this tending to the tree, and I think if you guys clear 7 stress, I think we look to Moonlit, and he clears. She's not a player character, so she clears more stress than you mechanically can in the game because, this is a big deal to her. We have just learned how big a deal it is.
Moonlit clears a trauma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have an idea for this afterwards then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she's, this does not stop her from being incredibly pissed off at Kethrysi.
Yeah.
But I think we cut back to the other scene outside then, as we have this incredibly touching moment inside from which Kethrysi and Mushfiq have been kicked out. And it is Mumtaz turning towards, Mushfiq has ostensibly poisoned himself.
Yep.
So she will turn to him and say, "Are you all right? What possessed you to eat something in a dank old basement?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's and I think maybe this question has kind of actually stumped Mushfiq a little bit because he didn't actually see a reason not to do it. He's been eating these fruits all his life.
Ankhattam is absolute ledge and batshit crazy and has voracious appetites. When you combine all of that together and a religious experience, I suppose sometimes you eat a weird tree, I guess.
She tilts her head and she says, "Religious experience?" Because again, she doesn't actually understand what's going on, and she's very curious.
I think so. Is this correct, Sharikatam?
No, I okay. So off topic, I don't think and I don't just to see if everyone else agrees. I don't think eating the fruit is religious. I mean, when I say he knows what it tastes like, that was more of
Yeah.
as a
No, absolutely. We have established that there are these ancestral bananas, and they're just a fruit. Again,
Yeah,
this is all part of a symbiosis ecosystem that just keeps people alive, right? So
Yeah.
the trees feed the people. Sometimes they feed them by the rice that grows around the roots. Sometimes they feed them plantains. It's
yeah. I think So then we just goes no religious. No, they just taste really good. Which I suppose is spiritual in its own way.
Yeah, I think
have you
she
never
nods.
had a ancestor banana, Bidruhi?
No, I have not had an ancestral banana.
But I keep them at home all the time.
Should we? Okay. How about since mother is going to be busy for a while, and Usra is currently at home, probably missing her family. Would you like to finish this lovely day by going back to the boarding house and having some ancestral bananas with Sharikatam and I?
I was just about to suggest. That sounds lovely.
Then it seems the three of us are people entirely in sync. And this is a great day for me because my spiritual brother and the woman I am engaged in emotional and physical relations with, we are all in sync together. This is excellent for me. I am having a great time.
So, are you sure you don't want to have a threesome with Mushfiq and this girl whose name I can never remember? Because I think we could manage it. Mumtaz, yeah.
Yes.
We could do it.
That's not. We have actually established that's not a real name, but it is the name she's using at the moment. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is an open question, but I feel the answer to that is that perhaps the city is not ready.
Yes. Well, what's going to happen here is that both of you guys are going to indulge your vice as well, I think. You don't have to, but it seems like you have an opportunity to because Mush fixes food, and these are some excellent bananas. And and Midruis is hanging out with his girlfriend. So
well, I'm at 5, so
yeah. I am. It's just a normal roll for us.
Yep. Just a normal indulge vice roll, and you can overindulge here, but Mushfiq is at no such risk because he rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. I couldn't have overindulged actually.
Yes. The reason obviously that Mushfiq doesn't clear more stress is that there weren't enough ripe bananas. You have to import them unripe and let them ripen a bit.
Of course. Yeah.
There was only one that was good enough. Mm-hmm.
I thought it may have been because he just threw up, and it's not great eating after you've just thrown up.
Yeah, maybe that's also why.
Yeah.
I like, by the way, that Mushfiq found out about this whole someone died down here while carrying a seed and didn't tell anyone because he was busy throwing up. But maybe he will share it with Saida and Moss later.
Oh, I thought it was implied that I would have said something. So if it's important, let's just say that I did say that.
Yeah, you shared.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Cool. Okay, I think that wraps up this scene for now. But Moonlit is still going to be very unhappy with Bidruhi and will want to have a talk with him. So that is a scene that is happening.
Okay.
Is there another scene that should happen before this, though?
I'm very happy to follow up first with that, but I do want to know, did Mumtaz have a nice time?
Oh yeah, she had a lovely time.
It's excellent.
I mean, you didn't succeed on the roll to show her a good time thieving, but I think the consequence is, she had a good time learning more about you, and she's become fascinated with you and your people.
Mm-hmm.
And she is not going to probably respect everyone's boundaries. So
that's fine.
She had a good time, but not in the way you were intending, I think.
It's okay. And she gets to go home with an interesting gift, which is her boyfriend's rival's left boot.
Yes. Yep. They are going to turn it into a prop in one of their plays.
Yes,
I think.
excellent. Very good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I think as she goes, I turn to Sherikhatam and say, am I or am I not luckiest man in hospitality ghetto? Sherikhatam, you can tell me.
Sure, why not?
Sherikhatam, you are always understating because you do not wish to reveal your cards because you are always keeping people guessing.
All right. Okay, so Mushfik's gonna give Vidrohi some, I don't know, like older brother to younger brother type of advice. It's like, look, Vidrohi, I'm sure you like this girl, and you're having a nice time and everything, but look, these Uzuwash and these Ash Cluster girls, right? They're like snakes. She's gonna wrap her coils around you, right? And she's not gonna let you go. Listen to your mother. Find a nice Kethrysi girl.
Know any?
What, me?
Yes, I mean, you're giving me feedback on what I should not do, but I think every piece of feedback should also have a nice, actionable piece of advice on what I could do instead.
What do you mean? What you could do instead? Do whatever. What you've been doing, just with people we can trust.
Okay, I will do what I am doing with someone I can trust. Very good. I will keep this in mind. And I nod sagely. And I will continue to do what I'm doing because I trust Mumtaz.
This is a bad idea.
She told me she's a
trust
thief.
Mhm.
She told me she's a thief, which shows that she has strength of character and definitely is an upfront, stand-up kind of person.
Yes. And Mumtaz and the Blue Smoke Troop, for their part, are going to be looking into some Kethrysi plays about this interesting place. And let me remind you, when they look into plays, they mean shit like research plays that contain spiritual secrets. So
yes,
it'll all work out. It'll all be fine. That's fine.
Yep.
I do want to have a scene with my mother, but other people can have a scene first if they want.
So I think the logical scene to happen chronologically next is Moonlit coming home.
I will say one thing that I think before we wrap up, we should make sure that everyone's downtimes are done.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. And one of the scenes I do want to do. Go on.
Yeah, everyone has had one downtime action at this point.
Yeah,
but
but we can breeze through the rest.
Yeah,
I agree. I just think this situation with Moonlit must be resolved, and I think it's best.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I want to do that too.
Yeah.
Then we will see if we are.
Yeah, I think what I want to do before next session is to talk to everyone about this Prince Khatam thing, so that we can see what happens next with that. Because I think we have been sitting on it for a while, which is fun, but I think it's time to break that tension. So,
yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Okay,
I want to know what Saeed is up to.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? We have a scene with Moonlit returning to the house, and then we have Saida talking to people, and then we do downtimes.
Yep, sounds good.
Sound good?
Sounds good. Oh, I hope Mushfik's comments on Mumtaz weren't too harsh.
No.
I think no, because I heard Prince go wow when I said she was like a snake.
No, it was mostly the why don't you find a nice Kethrysi girl, where I was like, yes. It is channeling this kind of vibe very well.
No, I think it was in it's in Mushfik's character to be kind of insular, distrusting of outsiders. Yeah. All right.
You know what they say? You can either get a nice girl or a Kethrysi girl. Am I right, guys?
Hey, wait a minute.
Excellent.
So, I think anyone can be in the scene because Moonlit is just going straight back to the boarding house, right? That it makes sense for anyone to follow her. But, she is going to want to talk to Bidruhi, right?
Okay.
I don't think Saida will be in the scene because they have interfered already, and then they said B. You want to do the yelling, you do it on your own time, right? So I don't think they're going to follow and be like, and this is my time too. So,
I know what's going to happen then. before my mother makes it home, like I think
Yeah.
partway between the
Mhm.
grotto. It was a grotto,
The
right?
basement.
Or basement,
It's
yes.
a basement. Yeah.
Okay. Before the basement and before she makes it back home,
Mhm.
I am going to intercept her.
Okay. Right. So you're cutting her off before she gets home. Very well. You meet her in the streets of Bundervest then.
Mhm.
This like fairly large, strong woman.
Yeah.
She sees you, and she looks conflicted. I think she didn't expect to see you here.
Klow, are you comfortable with it if Moss is in the scene as well? Because I think
Absolutely.
she would,
Absolutely.
she would have wanted to not leave Bidraki alone for this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So she'll be with Moonlit.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay. Mother and Sister Moss. I'm glad that I managed to catch you before you both came back to the house. I am assuming you are both going back to the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Moonlit just looks at you. She's like, okay, you have something to say.
Yes. I am aware that what happened earlier was very bad, but I'm not entirely aware exactly why. And I'm saying this not because to make some sort of excuse, but to say that I didn't mean to give offense. I just ran into a little bit of trouble with Mumtaz, and we were running there because we knew it would be a safe place. Because Sister Moss goes there. I didn't expect to find something very important there. I mean, I knew about the tree, but I guess I didn't really know about the tree. If you understand, and I am sorry for what happened.
I thought I told you not to see that woman or to bring her to our home.
Yes, we did talk about that. And when we talked about it, I said that I would do it anyway. We can have an argument about that, I think, later. And I think we probably will. But that's not why I came to see you in the street. I came to see you in the street because I didn't know that I was bringing her to somewhere very important, that I didn't mean to upset people. So I am meeting you on the street because if you will allow me, you and Sister Moss, both of you, I would like you both to take me back to the basement so that I can see the tree and learn from you what it is, so that I may understand properly.
We will. And we will go and prune it again. And you will come with us. And you brought this girl here, and you still want to keep seeing her?
Yes, I do. Is this not my decision, Mother?
She takes a moment and she thinks and she says, "It is yours, and it's also hers. She has seen the tree," she says, turning to Moss. "So I suppose there is no harm in asking her to convert."
Convert?
What did you say, Klow?
I said convert because
Yeah.
I think.
And she says, "I don't know how serious you are about this girl, but you know about our family. You know how important it is. Our bloodline, our heritage. If you want things to go any further with this woman, then she would be part of the family."
Okay, I mean, that is, if things go well, of course, then she will be part of the family. I thought that was without saying. But can you convert to becoming Kethrysi? And okay, see, this is why I think you should take me to the tree and teach me, because, okay, there's clearly it's things I don't understand about any of this, but it's news to me that you can convert to being Kethrysi. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're going to teach you so that you may teach her.
Well,
yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. Moonlit sighs and she says, "Maybe convert is too Uduashan a word. But if I am to accept her And the tree has to.
I think Bidrohi is just kind of like looking very serious because
Mm-hmm.
I think it's less about, oh my god, my girlfriend has to convert to whatever
Mhm.
this is, and more like,
Yeah.
my girlfriend has to convert to something. Am I like? I mean, I don't even know if I believe it in something.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, and then he's like, okay, we first I will understand, and then we can see, and if it is too much for her to convert to whatever this is or understand, or we shall see. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think this is the scene that I think it's decision now. Like, okay, if you seriously want to date this woman, then she can learn to worship trees too. This is the
Mhm.
compromise. This is as far as she's willing to go.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
yeah, I hope this is an interesting arc to you.
Yeah, we shall see if I want to convert to the tree in the first
Yes,
place.
yes,
Let's.
you were entirely irreligious, but yeah, I think this is this is the complicated thing about culture and religion and family and
Yes.
tradition and all this, right? Like,
This is
what
what
does it mean
happens.
to be part of a Kethrysi family? Well, it means being related to trees. This
Yeah.
is
Yes, this is what happens when you have a religion and then you go somewhere else and then you raise kids and they don't know about the religion and suddenly they have to
Yep.
know about the religion. We shall find
Yep.
out.
this. I don't think this is in any ways a unique
Yes.
experience.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't even know if the Kethrysi like necessarily viewed it as a religion historically. It's just something you do. But in Uduasha, it's no longer something you do. So now it has to be. Now you have to think about it.
Okay. Bidrohi will think about it and he will go
Yep.
hang out with the tree
Mm-hmm.
later.
Yes. Yeah, I think we don't necessarily have to do this scene now. I think the next important scene is actually Saida because Moss has told everyone about the tree, and now Saida needs to tell everyone
Yes.
about the. So, what has actually
Yep.
happened here is that Emma has told the crew about Tree, and now Tree is telling the crew about Prince. That's not confusing at all.
Very funny. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie to you,
What?
that's quite funny.
What?
Go ahead.
What I'm gonna quickly do my other downtime action
Mhm.
before this, which is I am going to continue working on this clock to reestablish connection with Mr. Rohini, because
Okay.
the temptation to work on Light as a Feather is ever present. But this,
Mhm.
like, I broke this contact like in session 3. And the way that I'm going to do it is I am going to see whether I can get into what is the best way for me to do this? Okay, yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I am the vizier of the House of Lies, and I'm going to see whether I can submit a form to get myself certified as the vizier of the House of Lies, mostly as a way to get Mr. Rohini's attention. I don't
Okay.
think that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Okay, I
But
think
I'm
we've
like,
been saying
okay, look.
we've been saying House of Lies, but I do want to remind everyone that there is in fact a House of Deception.
Yep. I know.
Yes,
This is
correct.
Salman's situation is complicated.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is he's
So
he's
we
not
don't
a
get
lot.
confused.
Yeah, Salman's thing is not the House of Lies in the sense that like they deceive people. It's more metaphysical. Like,
Yep.
he is the house of things that are literally not true. So
Yeah. I mean, he used to be not true, and now he's Anyway, yeah. Don't worry about it.
look, you broke
So-
this man's mind, and now nothing he does
Yes.
makes any sense anymore. This is the
Also, something in Deep Ipri happened to him when I called
Yeah.
upon Prince Ketham, and that
Yep.
may or may not have infected. Anyway, I think it's a study.
Yep.
Could be a sway.
You're filing some bullshit. Yeah, I think it's a study. You're filing some bullshit paperwork to try to get Mr. Heaney's attention.
Yeah.
I think it can be either a study or a sway.
I'm gonna roll study, and I think that basically what I want here is to try and find the right form.
Mhm.
So that when I file it, he can be like, "What the fuck?" I don't know that it's a he. To be clear, Mr. Rohini, so far as we know, has no pronouns, but nonetheless. So study as a fortune.
Mr. Rohini is a they in the sense that they are an organization, I think is how most people view it. But
oh my god, I rolled a 6. That's 3 ticks.
Yes.
You know
the
what?
reason for this, I'm
just going to spend, I've got 2 stash. I'm just going to spend a coin and fill this up.
Yep.
But yeah,
okay.
go on.
I think the reason why this works is that you fill out this totally bullshit form that shouldn't mean anything, and then Mr. Rohini gets back to you with like, why does this make sense? This isn't supposed to make sense. This is a clearly bullshit form, but something has happened. Something very weird has happened, and you now represent an institution that doesn't exist and yet has the correct paperwork.
Excellent.
So
very good.
I think, Salman's whatever Salman has done, Rohini has noticed it, and now you have established yourself as like, I know Salman. I'm your way to him.
Yeah, correct. So I'm gonna retake my upward tick mark with Mr. Rohini.
Yep.
Great.
You are now in Mr. Rohini's good graces again.
because Okay. So I would like to invite everybody to our lab where I am just doing some stretches and hanging out and waiting for everybody to turn up, except that it is the middle of the night.
Okay.
And we have been invited to the lair. Okay, yes, that's why we're there.
Yeah, I've told everybody to come in the middle of the night.
Is this the same night?
It could be a different night. It doesn't have to be the same night. It's probably a different night.
Okay. Regardless, I think like it's soon enough that Bidre wanders in looking quite somber and kind of glum.
And not expecting to see on his face.
Oh, hello, Auntie.
Vidrohi, you're looking quite defeated. I suppose what you and your mother spoke about did not go so well.
I have things to think about, Auntie.
Well, I'm afraid I will be giving you more things to think about. Where are Mushfiq and Mas?
Mushfiq is here. Hello. He appears from behind you.
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
I think he appears from the break room, in fact.
Yeah. So he's just there suddenly behind Saida.
With the sandwich. Yeah.
By the prince! Not something. You'll scare the life out of me.
And Sister Moss is probably here, standing in a corner. We just haven't noticed her yet.
No, actually, Moss comes in, and she has. You've started noticing since being at the tree how often she has brown, like kind of like dirt on her fingers, as she does now.
Moss. Very good.
Sister Moss, come sit with me.
She does. Wordlessly.
I'm sure you're all wondering why I've called you here. And I think she kind of laughs to herself because she probably knows a meme or two.
You're going to tell us something very strange, cryptic, and insane. As is your wont, Auntie.
You know, Vidrohi, I've been noticing you are getting more and more observant. I approve. Yes, that is exactly what I am about to do. And it's going to be very simple. In fact, Moss has already heard it from me. And it is this. The Prince of Endings is coming. And we will be here to receive him.
Do I need to?
Because we know
prepare some
that
food?
he has always been here.
Is this like one of your old flings?
When is he coming? We have some food in the break room, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for the prince.
I do not know what he eats, and I do not think he loves. But I can be sure of neither of these things. What is important is that you accept fully and truly that there are 6 princes. There are 6, though they would have you believe there were only 5.
Would they have us believe that?
Okay. Are you talking about the key bearers, Auntie?
Yes, that is what they call themselves, don't they? The key bearers.
Hmm.
As if they. What is that story they tell about going and making a key out of death and life and singing to it, and then unlocking this gate as if they have come to save us? No. We know that's not what happened. What happened is that the Prince of Endings ended a gate. And then when he finished ending the gate, they threw him into the wilderness, and then they built a gate behind them. So nobody else could follow. That's what they did. And then they named themselves key bearers, as if they had done some great deed.
It is
Okay,
true. I have seen what they have seen.
okay, so Mushfiq doesn't understand what's going on, but he's going to pretend that he does understand what's going on. So I'm
Good.
going to roll study and see what I can, how much I picked up from this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Roll study as a fortune roll.
Yeah.
I am going to take one stress to assist you.
Okay.
Because I'm
You were
looking
serious
into
about
your
explaining
eyes.
this.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very
Mhm.
important.
mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see it.
You should have had one die.
Oh, I should have added one. Okay, then I'll just.
Okay, so it's the first one, so it's a 5 actually.
It's 5.
Because you
Okay.
got aid.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so this is I think you can definitely understand that this is goddamn bonkers.
Yeah. But I think
It's-
also, right, I wasn't expecting to roll a 5, but I think which is actually not a bad roll. But I think
Yeah.
then Mushfiq does remember, you've probably gone on about the key bearers at some point before. Maybe not about the Prince
Yeah.
of Endings, but it's like,
I th-
okay, yeah. I'm on board.
I think something that everyone does know about Saida is that, she is trying to, like,
Mm.
doing prophecy, building gods, doing
Yeah.
occult stuff. So
Yeah.
you could probably piece some together from that, right?
The key bearers are what Tree has been calling the 5 demon princes of Uduasha since season 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And
I think that's what people in Uduasha call them.
that is what people in Uduasha call them. I'm pretty sure. I feel like that's kind of what people across Iruvia call them, even because the
Yeah.
propaganda is very good. And this is one person's attempt to destroy that propaganda, all on their own.
Yeah.
So what
yeah.
does Mushfiq learn? On top of what he would know anyway about he would know about the key bearers, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you can tell me, Aadiyat. What do you think that lies behind this veil for Mushfiq?
Well, I don't know because I was going to fail that roll and it would be funny, but I've succeeded. So
Okay.
But
In
you
that
only
case,
rolled a 5, so I think
Yeah,
Mushfiq only understands the basics, right? He
Yeah,
neither,
yeah.
he neither
Okay.
does not understand it nor have some special insight.
Okay, I have a question here, which is this something that only Saida knows about, or is it something that some esoteric masters in Kethrysi would know?
No, nobody knows about it. This is Saida all on their own, getting up in the morning and deciding I will do this.
Yeah. The playwright
that-
of the play you were at arguably knew it, but
I
That's
think
very
it
arguable.
seems to me that this, if I can completely mangle an analogy, is like if you have some kind of mathematical proof that you can prove using several different subfields, right? Somebody might use linear algebra, somebody might use geometry, and so on. The fundamental truth may well be that Saida is inventing a whole new mathematical field in order to prove something. But I think, therefore,
Absolutely.
what it is that only they know this specific method that they're kind of coming up with. She doesn't know who else has come up with it in different ways.
Nope.
Well, I think Mushfiq would then definitely be able to tell that this is from the play. What he does with that, I don't know. But speaking of the play, I was for a brief moment during the play, when everything became very, very strange, I was about to be possessed by some sort of like avatar of the Prince Kethrysi. I remember this.
Yes. Correct.
And I resisted this by having a great ego.
Yep.
I would like to roll Attune, maybe as a fortune or something, because I feel like hearing this would, regardless of like what I actually want to do, create some sort of like effect.
Okay, absolutely. Yes. Roll Attune.
I don't
And
think I can. Unfortunately, I don't think I can help you on this because I don't even know that it happened to you.
yes. And okay, I will give you a choice. This can be a fortune roll, or it can be controlled standard. And if it is controlled standard, then you are also automatically accepting a devil's bargain of this being linked to Moss.
Oh,
Hmm.
damn! That is so good.
Emma, do you like this? I assume you do.
I like this. Yes.
Yes,
Obviously.
I know you as a human being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest of us who only know Emma as a voice.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Yes.
Aadiyat has also met her.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
we can all confirm
Yes.
that Emma is real.
Uh-huh.
Prince and Ida.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Fun fact about Emma: she saved my life.
Oh.
What?
Really?
Okay.
Wait.
We will not unpack this for now.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so
Yeah.
bonus dice, devil's. So the devil's bargain does give me a dice, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, it's not one of those devil's dice that's like it. This is an automatic consequence.
No,
Okay,
this is a
Very good.
take a bonus dice.
It's a 6.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Amazing. So, what this fix means is that I guess you understand. You come to an understanding, right? You have the standard effect. So you understand that you had this vision of the Prince of Endings, and I think the other thing you understand, since this is linked to Moss, is that you remember Moss's emotional state after that. Moss was half mad, having lived through, an entire past life, which we now know is a future life.
As a pigeon, right? Or some kind of bird?
Well, as
Some
someone who
kind
was
of bird.
symbolically a bird.
Ah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So the whole thing is veiled in allegory. And I think the 6 here is realizing that, yes, the play was indeed prophetic. There is something here. And also that Moss actually has seen it. Like, in hindsight, right? As you piece together your memories, Bidruhi, you come to realize that your sister has indeed gazed into some sort of abyss, and the abyss has gazed back into her.
Do I understand that I did the same? But I guess maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, I think you rolled a 6 here, so what you understand is that you did it, but you looked away.
Oh, I see.
And she actually saw it.
I think I turned to Moss, and I kind of like squeeze her hand and say, "Are you all right, sister?"
I'm all right. Yes. Why?
Because, and then I think like Bidri understands this on some level, but maybe he can't articulate it because it's all perhaps too esoteric and strange for him. But I think like he what he managed to say as he's trying to figure it out is, because you have seen you've seen this thing, right? You've seen this Prince Khattam or sorry, I wouldn't know Prince Khattam. Oh no, I wouldn't I? Because I was in the play. I saw the thing. You know about this Prince Khattam? Oh my god, that's our name.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so
I have
clearly...
a question for you.
Okay, but can I ask a question first?
Yeah, sure. And I was asking as Tree, so you ask me in character, and then I'll ask you out of character.
Okay, no, you ask me. No, out of character first, then.
Okay. Because with a 6, I think the question here is, what do you understand about Prince Khattam that nobody really expects you to, that perhaps even Saida doesn't know? Or doesn't get, even if they kind of understand it?
Mm-hmm.
I think Bidri understands that on some level he is Prince Khattam, but I think he also feels that on several levels we on another level we all are.
Excellent. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he feels that he was the chosen one to who was going to manifest Prince Khattam. I think he feels that we all have the potential to be the one to manifest Prince Khattam, and this is not necessarily a good thing.
Yep.
Very fair. Okay. Sorry, you were gonna ask something.
Okay, and he was like, "Okay, Auntie, I have several questions. First question, maybe it's a statement. I don't know. Okay, the key bearers and their they rule Uduasha and they rule Ludovia. Yes.
That is what they say. That is what it seems like. Yes.
Okay, but Auntie, okay, well, maybe they say that they deserve it or whatever, but like, okay, they definitely rule Uduasha, right? Like that's we see the noble houses, we see the men in uniforms and all that. Like we see that's real. They do rule Uduasha.
And what, Vidrohi, is real? And this is really the madness of Saida, that she is challenging exactly this. What is real?
Auntie, okay. I am not equipped for metaphysical debate. What I am equipped for is understanding that we are just some people in this city, in a very small, poor part of the city, and most people don't like us very much. And we have been getting a little bit of like extra support. People are knowing us a little bit. All of these things are good and very great. And Kethrysi forever, Kethrysi in the bud, all of that, very good. But these are the people who run the entire country. And there's 5 of them. They like to say that there's 5 of them. And they have, they don't like each other very much, but maybe they like each other. They have their own thing going on. And we can, have a good life doing our own thing. And we can do quite a lot of things and have good life and, maybe cause some ruckus in the city and all of that. So long as we don't start telling people that there is, okay, guys, there is totally a 6th key bearer or whatever, or 6th demon, or like maybe like the whatever you were saying, that there's a 6th person, okay, and this person, this prince has guess what, same name as us. You understand that this is a way for us to all get very, very killed.
And I think Saida will look at you and say, "Are you done?"
I mean, I can keep going on because this is a very serious thing and we can get killed in many, many ways. But yes, I suppose that can be summarized. I can let you respond.
Good. We are not small, poor people. We do not live in a tiny corner. We are Ankhattam of Kethrysi. We were singing to trees before the sun was in the sky. And I know that this scares you, that taking what has been taken from us may well get us killed. But we are not alive in this way. You may be. I am not. The most we have of our heritage is a tree in a basement that is a miracle given to us. There is no prince, Khattam. His name is Khattam. And I think this is like they are going to call upon his name again. But what is happening here is, again, quite metaphysical. They're saying, yeah, you're right. It's true. Reality is that this prince doesn't exist. And then they're going to say, reality is that the prince exists. And then they're going to try and, I'm going to try and roll.
Okay, you're speaking the name. I
Yep.
don't know if it's a roll the second time, because you're speaking the
Sure.
same name. You are
Yeah, it's
doing the same thing that you did to Moss. Yeah? So
Yeah.
there will be a revelation here.
Yes.
Moss has
Okay.
already had this revelation of the future, but like as Saida says this, you will have a vision. I think this is what overcomes you. And so you're going to see 2 things at once, or possibly disjointed in time. The first is Kagasaranya, the forest of paperwork, where there is one little letter, one little gilded contract, or passport, I should say, at the very center of it, that says that you are House Ankhattam, and it is growing roots. That little paper is growing roots into other papers and other papers and other papers throughout the bureaucracy. And the other thing that you are going to see is that it is indeed true that there are only 5 key bearers, and there are only 5 towers. And there is no 6th spire forlorn and forgotten in the desert, because that thing in the desert that stretches to the sky, that's not a spire, it's a tree.
Amazing. I got no problem with that. That's good.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
several problems.
Yeah.
That's you got to do something about it. I have. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is really good. I want to be very clear that this is very good, and I will continue to aggressively have no idea. And I think that is the best way to play this game.
Because I
I've
have a
done what I
reply to
need to
this that we have to get out.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Good.
Yes, it's very important. And I see this vision.
Yeah.
And I say, okay. Clearly, being Kethrysi means a lot more than I thought. And I think Bidre is like being intentionally very calm. And I don't think any of you like know him well enough to realize that he's having a full-on panic attack.
Yeah.
Like not even
Yep.
Moss
Not
knows
even
him
his
well enough.
sister.
I mean,
Okay.
she wasn't there for most of his life, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
And since then, he's just been doing a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I see that there's a lot for me to learn, and it seems that there's a lot for me to learn about being Ankhattam as well. But okay, about us being dead. First of all, Auntie, very much I would like to remind you that I have a little sister who's very alive. My mother is very alive, and I understand that something seems to be happening that we can't stop. I can't make you stop what's happening. I don't know if you did it or whatever, but something is happening, and I understand that if we don't seize control of this and if we don't lean into this, then it's going to happen either way, and then it's going to go badly. Only way for it to go good for us is to actually engage with it, meet it directly, like the absolute badasses we are. All of this is true. Very good. But Auntie, Sister Moss, Shere Khatam, and also to myself so that I can hear myself, it is very important that we all stay alive, and my little sister stays alive, and my mother stays alive, and okay, Al-Qadar, Ankhattam, and all those other people, they all stay alive. Okay, we can't have what's going to happen be at the cost of all these people and us stopping being alive and becoming dead as you, Auntie, think we already are. Okay? Can we do that? Can we step away from the metaphysical bullshit for a bit and make sure that people don't get fucking killed? You may please respond.
I will pay no cost. No, that's not what she says. They will pay no cost before I pay. I do not do this for some great ideal. I do it so they might wake in the morning and breathe freedom. I do not ask anything of them, and I will give them the word. Because Prince Khatam will watch over them from now until before time.
Okay. That's very good to know. Second thing is not as important, but perhaps request. The 5 key bearers and their noble houses, they rule all this shit. They made things very bad. I don't understand what it means to add a 6th key bearer or whatever, or remove the 5. Okay, you can tell me the metaphysics of this or however it will actually end up being. But whatever's happening, I would very much appreciate if we didn't just create, okay, now it's the same thing, but now we are in charge.
He will be the prince of endings. He will end himself before it occurs.
Okay, Auntie, this is a great and very illuminating conversation we are having. Okay. I think he's just going to. I think he's going to get up and go for a walk.
Good, he should.
Yep.
And I think like it's really like I want to underscore here that this Saida has really seen a world that does not work for them and rejected their reality in favor of her own, right? And she gets to live in a world in which that is possible, which it's not for many of us. So I think like that conversation is really like making that fact clear. Great.
Yes. Saida can have a little emancipatory daydreaming as a treat.
Uh-huh.
That's what
Yes.
this is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Very good.
Very good.
Let's
Yes.
do downtime.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let's start with, I suppose, Bidruhi, who went on a walk.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm going on a walk, and I'm
Mhm.
thinking about what all these things mean. And I think I'm going to go to the harbor,
Mhm.
where there's still work going on, where the Scotlanders are still straining their muscles, where Kethrysi are lining up to try to find some work that the Scotlanders have all monopolized. And I'm seeing all of these things, and I'm not seeing Scotlanders taking advantage of Kethrysi or like putting them aside. Though I am seeing that. I'm also looking out into the city that makes this happen. I'm seeing all these things. And it's not that, Bidrohi obviously has a lot of Kethrysi pride. He's got that revolutionary spirit. But it has never come at this price before. Or at least, it hasn't seemed this big and scary before. So he's looking at all these reminders of to make it more down to earth.
Yep.
And he looks at all of this, and then he takes a deep breath, and then he takes a deep breath, and then he heads back towards the school, hoping that at this point, since it's been a few hours, that people have gone home. And he stands in the courtyard, and then he takes out his sword, and then he kind of like looks up into the sky, where, I mean, even though the sun broke and fell into the waters of the Void Sea, there's still a little bit of sun, some sort of light that comes out.
Yep.
Around dawn and dusk, sunrise and sunset. He raises his sword up towards the sky, and then he says, "Okay, Mr. Khattam, if you are listening, then I would like you to consider that this sword I am raising now is a sword that I have raised before because my father told me to, and now it is a sword that I wish to raise because it will keep my family and my people safe. And I would very much appreciate if I did not have to raise this sword to keep them safe from you as well."
Powerful.
I am probably not addressing you correctly, but I have no idea what's going on, and I'm making this up as I go along. And let's start. And then I think I'm going to go through my forms, and I have invoked the name of Prince Khattam or Mr. Khattam.
Yep.
And I hope that this helps consecrate the temple grounds at least a little bit somehow.
Okay, working on consecrating the temple grounds. Absolutely.
By invoking Mr. Khattam.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So, what sort of action is this?
Skirmish.
Yep. absolutely
Because I
valid.
want,
Skirmish.
yeah, I want
your
to do
forms.
my very best.
Mm-hmm.
Fortune roll. Oh, 6.
Nice.
I think I consecrate so hard that I mean I often work up a sweat, but I'm like dripping sweat. And the sweat is falling onto the earth.
Yeah.
And I think as we leave, the camera kind of like lingers on the earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, it lingers on the earth, and perhaps something somewhere takes root.
Yes.
Excellent. 3 ticks to this clock. Please tick it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, very cool. What is Mushfik? Downtime action.
Well, I have one left. I indulge some vice, but I'm a 3, so pretty good chance of overindulging, so can't do that. Don't really have much. Yeah, I don't really. It looks like Mushfik doesn't have much going on for himself.
Yeah, there is the
Yeah.
Consecrating the Training Grounds project, which is technically a project for the whole crew. There's also Regaining Julika's Trust
Yeah, I
as
was
a
thinking
crew
about that.
project.
Julika was the what are we calling them? Falconer?
The Ferris.
Ferris, yeah.
The Ferris, yeah, your
but
sort
I
of
don't know.
cop contact.
Yeah.
Just consecrate the training ground. Let's just
Yeah,
finish this.
yeah. Let's concentrate.
Let's see how you consecrate this training ground. I mean, how are you bearing all of this? Because I know that Shankarabharanam's thing is like, yeah, whatever. But
no. It is, yeah, whatever. But there are a few things that that are on his mind. And actually, maybe I can start some kind of clock here for myself because I was saying. So, I think what I'm wondering, and by extension, what Shankarabharanam is wondering, is why would 5 demon princes of Uzwasha bother with some prophesized Kethrysi, like 6th house anyway? Like, there was not. I don't think before like the uprising there was much of Kethrysi presence in this city. And I'm gonna try and put 2 and 2 together, which I'm not equipped to do, but I'm gonna try to do it anyway.
Okay, so you're going to try to investigate
the link, I guess.
Yeah, between this and the brewing revolutionaries in Uduasha, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going at. Like, and I think the general angle is maybe the uprising in Kethrysi wasn't just about like farmland. Maybe it had like maybe there was more to it, right?
Yeah.
That had to do with the 6th house.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so research Kethrysi history. What I want to call this clock? I think I'll call it a 6 clock.
Yes, and actually, okay, this is all right. I'm excited because the first time because I was thinking that we never said like what happened to Mushfik's like swordmaster, right? Like he lost contact during the war. If there's one person that Mushfik trusts to know about this stuff, it's him. So I think what Mushfik should do first of all is try to find out where his master is and try to see if he's still alive.
Yes, that is an awesome first step. Okay, tracking down your swordmaster. Yeah, let's call it a 6 clock to give you a lead. I don't want to make it just like a long clock because I think it's complicated progress. It's a 6 clock, and then you will have to take some risk when it finishes, right?
Yeah.
So that just gives you an idea of where to look. Is it fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. First, we gotta find out if this guy's alive, where he is, and then I presumably break him out of jail if he is alive.
Yep.
All right,
excellent.
And to do this, I know just the guy, Zahir, my friend from
the
Revolution. So I'll just go meet him somewhere.
Yeah, let's condense this. Let's do a consort roll first, and then we'll see how much he knows.
Yeah,
I think that's a good way to do it. So, like, depending on the roll, he will have a different amount of things to say.
Yeah.
So it's consort with a bonus dice from your friend.
Consort fortune roll, is it? Yeah. Bonus die from friend. Okay. Doesn't know a whole lot.
You get 1 tick to the clock, and it turns out that you don't know very much. You and Zahir both got separated from your old master,
Yeah.
So I think you have a conversation about this, basically just reminiscing, and he doesn't give you too much new information, but he does give you a lead. And that lead, of course, is Omid, who worked with the people trying to suppress the revolution, and probably
God
knows
damn it.
more.
God damn it. All right.
The sexual tension returns.
Yes.
See,
So
this is good. This is good because like all the stuff that's been happening, that's like that's like stuff that Bidrohi doesn't understand. But sexual tension with one's rival.
yes. So
No.
how this will work is that you can continue working on this clock in like fortune rolls and seeking other angles, or I'm telling you right now, like the option you come up with rather than doing more research, right, is you could go to Omid, but he doesn't like you. And
No.
he has no reason to tell you this. So
I'll think of a reason.
So that's
Yeah.
why this is one tick mostly. It's like Zahir goes like, yeah, I have one lead. It's Omid, unfortunately. So
Alright.
Is it
you
a,
can
is
do
this a
quite a
new
bit of work.
project?
Yeah, it's a new project.
Yep.
I guess I'll set it to my sheet. Six you said?
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock? Yeah, right.
A 6
we'll
o'clock,
call
one tick marked.
I'll take it down. We'll call this finding a lead. Or rather, finding a leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Then lastly, moss on the rung breaks your ankle.
So, next time I think I would like to do more stuff involving the family with the tree, but it would take a long time. So I am instead going to kind of do some groundwork for that. And what I'm going to do is, like, clearly there are two things that need to be done to make sure this tree is all right. One of them is it needs to not be in that basement because that's not a good place.
Yep.
And the other is we need to understand that ghost. And that's much
Yep.
more actionable right now. So with a little bit of the things that they've gleaned, Moss suspects that the best lead is to is to assume that this person who died there was in some way connected to the building site itself. Had some sort of prior connection. Maybe they're just some rando who crawled in there, and then this will be a dead end. But she will like hope that there's some sort of connection. So
Do you have
I'm
a
going
project to investigate the ghost already?
Yes.
Or okay.
I don't think I have it, but I'm going to make it.
Okay, good. So we haven't
yeah.
established how long a clock this is.
No.
Okay. I will call it probably a bunch of linked clocks, but let's call it a 4 o'clock to start with this angle of like find out vaguely the ghost's identity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a sensible way to do it. Like once we finish
Yeah.
that clock, maybe we can link into a second clock, but
How long should this clock be?
4, I think.
4. Yeah.
Like it can link into longer clocks later, but for now, to get a basic idea, I think 4 is quite enough.
Yeah. And I think what she's going to do is she's going to hunt. She's going to hunt a person at the building site or connected to the building site who might tell her about this person.
Yeah.
And specifically, she's going to do it by hanging out there a lot and waiting until some activity happens that she can glean stuff from.
Yeah, absolutely. So hunt for the day laborers and try to glean some info. Let's see.
I'm just going to roll the 2 dice. Oh. And it's a 6.
Okay, so it's 3 ticks. Yeah, I think the main lead you find out actually is that I think what makes sense here straightforwardly, and which is a pretty good lead, is that quite a lot of construction workers come from the displaced refugees. And so I think the people who worked at this construction site were like mostly people from other areas of Uduasha. But they do go like, oh yeah, there was like a couple of Kethrysi people who worked with us a while back. There were like, not that many of them. They're pretty few. And so you narrow it down to basically just one family. So you don't have like an identity, but you do have that the person was a Kethrysi construction worker, probably. or someone connected to the Kethrysi construction workers. And yeah, like I said, you don't yet have a name. You didn't finish the clock, but you're very close.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's where we wrap up the session. In the next session, we have a
Yeah.
couple of more free play scenes, but I think those might lead into scores more
Mhm.
naturally. Here close the doors to the house of endings. Those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Zoheb, Soumithri, called Tree, and Emma. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Uduasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Uduasha.
On the next Desperate Attune.
I will point out that disrupting a Skovlan holiday may cause violence. I feel like there is a risk.
This doesn't seem like a bug.
think-
This seems like a feature.
No, so yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I think what we should do is mess with the meat.